Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sisters of
Mhm.
the Mystical Tarot. I'm Shari, Voices from the Swamp, and I have with me my beautiful sisters, Valerie from Dragonfly Crystals, Allie from Heart and Soul Connected, and Marina from Heart Centered Tarot. And we've been doing this show for what, four four years now? Something like that. We've
Something like
been
that.
Something like that.
yeah, something like that. So we've had different people that were regulars for a while and moved on, and a lot
Mhm.
more people in the beginning than we have now. And so, I guess this has kind of been the little core group that's kind of stuck in there together. So, welcome everyone. Happy April Fool's Day to everybody. Um, no, we're not going to shut down the show and take off. So don't worry about that.
Well,
Yeah.
there's an idea.
But I guess we could have done that. Said, April
Just,
Fool's
April
doesn't
oh,
Fool's
sorry,
rhyme.
Day.
April Fool, bye.
See
Yes.
ya.
Excuse me, my allergies been giving me fits the last couple of days. So anyway, I just thought it would be interesting. I started thinking about it and I thought, why do we have an April Fool's Day? Where did it start? Where did it come from? Why is it playing pranks on each other instead of some other nice way? You're muted, Marina.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh,
I'm talking to my son, and I didn't want y'all to hear what I was.
Oh, okay. No, I saw you
Yeah.
talking. You kept motioning. I thought, is she trying to
Okay.
get help? What's going on? Okay, Marina pulled off the first prank for tonight. She made us all think she was talking to us with no sound. Um. Anyway, so I thought I would I got curious about it. I thought, well, that might would be an interesting topic. I don't think we've ever discussed this topic in the 4 years that we've been doing this, but then I think this may be the first time that we had a show that was actually
Landed on it. Yeah.
on April
Yeah.
Fool's Day. So
Mhm.
kind of played itself. Um, it's been considered foolish due to centuries old traditions of springtime mischief, likely stemming from ancient festivals like Roman Hilaria, which is late March, involving disguises and mockery, or the adoption of the Gregorian calendar in 1582, which mocked those celebrating the new year in late March, early April as April Fools, not with the apostrophe, but just in the plural.
Mhm.
So I thought, I never knew that. It's like the more I read, the more I kept thinking, wow, I never knew that. And you
Mhm.
would think, as much as people get into pranking each other and doing elaborate hoaxes for April Fools, that I would have at some point learned why we have an April Fools. And I never did. It was just kind of like, oh, okay, we have an April Fool's Day. It's whatever. Um, I have been fortunate in that I have never been the recipient of a really bad prank. I've been like nudged a little bit over the years, mostly back in my high school days, but nothing like I see some people go to elaborate,
Yeah.
multiple people involved kind of hoaxes. It's like, yeah, no, I would not get off on that. Nor have I been a participant in pranking somebody else to that degree. Granted, I've done little nudges at people and whatnot, but nothing like that. So I just thought once we kind of talked about it a little bit, we could go around and maybe share if we have any firsthand personal experience of being pranked or being the prankster. So, some of the key aspects for April Fool's Day. Well, before I get going on this, let's first go around and say hello to everybody. What's up with your channel? What you got happening? Val is sleeping. So,
I'm
She
looking
wants to be
down.
Donald Trump. She wants to be Donald Trump because
Yes.
we need him. Yeah. So there's your April Fool. Yeah.
April Fools. Um, that wouldn't be a prank. That would be a nightmare from hell. But
Well, I know. That's true.
so, Val, what you got happening? What's cooking? What's going on?
Oh gosh. Tomorrow is Messages for Lightworkers, which is always a fabulous show. So please tune into that. And I mean, the guides and angels bring it every time. So you're going to want to tune into that and hear what they have to say for you, because it's messages for all of you light workers out there. That's every one of you. And pretty much, I think that's what I've got going on. Oh, one last thing though, the Arthur and Val Zoom for April 18th, I believe it is. That is open now on dragonflycrystals.store if you want to sign up for that. It is absolutely fabulous to sit in that energy and have your questions answered by Arthur and I. And 10 minutes feels like half an hour, and you benefit so much from everyone's questions being answered in that environment. It's a very healing circle, and powerful things happen. You kind of get all kinds of activations, and so it might be some gift you'd like to give yourself for 2026 to go ahead and do that.
Well, do y'all have another Vegas coming up anytime
We do
soon?
have another Vegas coming up. We have not absolutely 100% firmed it up, but you can save the date for August 14th, 15th, 16th in there, maybe the 14th for a travel day. I think that's a Friday. And we're going to do 2 days. So we'll do something on, we'll do the 10-minute circles and 2 different seatings of that. And then the next day we'll have private readings. If you want to sign up for that, that will be an additional add-on if you want. And that's what's coming up. It's not available yet, but it's something to consider. Yes, Vegas is hot in August, but you're inside. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You're inside.
Yeah, you're in the desert. What do you expect?
Yeah, it's hot in the desert. So pretty much that's it. That's what I got going on.
All right. Allie, what about you? What you got coming up?
I've got some things coming up, but I must bring up what happened yesterday. And we know that it's not a joke because it wasn't April 1st. And that is our dear friend and dog killer, Christy Nome's husband, was outed as a cross-dresser.
With lopsided
boobs. And he's been,
well, it wasn't the boobs so much lopsided as it was what pokes out of the boobs that were.
Well, yes, absolutely.
Like one was pointing off.
And she did not know. She did not know.
Going in the opposite direction.
Nipples going this way. Anyway, yeah, he's been working with the kinky community for years. So, and she's the one that said transgender people or whatever, are no good. Anyway, things come back around, kind of like.
Yes,
but
Isn't that true?
It is. So tomorrow I'm going to be on with Terry Lee, Pure Visionary, in the morning, and we're going to talk about preparation for unexpected changes. If we have earth changes or if we have other changes, and we're going to talk about that. And then on Friday, I have a show in the morning. I can't remember who with, but I have a show with Jeff in the afternoon. And then on Saturday, I have a show with Scott and then with JJ Tuda. We're going to be doing our Tuda. So, and Monday, I got Nath on my channel. We're doing once a month chat. So
awesome.
I'm looking forward to all that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Cool.
Great deal. And Miss Marina, what about you? What you got happening?
What I got happening? Well, tomorrow I will be joining Val on her channel for Messages for Lightworkers. And that's at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then at 7 p.m., Cleo the Seer is going to join me for Kitchen Table Issues. How much do you want to bet that we're going to be discussing cross-dressing?
Oh,
I'm just saying. Just saying.
Yeah.
So Yeah, that's
If he wants
tomorrow.
to do it, it's no big deal, but don't be hypocritical. Right.
That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then on Friday at 2 p.m., Nate is going to join me on my channel. It's the first
Great.
time that
Uh-huh.
we've done
Yeah, that's fun.
a collab. So I'm
Mhm.
really, really looking forward to getting to know him and, you know, kind of introducing him to everyone. Although most of you know who he is. You know, it's not like he's brand new. So there is that. And then at 6 p.m. on Saturday, Trish James is going to join me and we'll be doing some readings for the folks in the chat.
Good.
So that's kind of what's happening this week. The other thing that I did want to mention to everyone, and this is not an April Fool's joke, it's on April 24th, I will be celebrating 5 years on YouTube, my 5-year anniversary.
Wonderful.
And I am forever grateful to everyone who has supported me throughout this, whether you've been with me forever or, you know, you're just a brand new subscriber. I want to say thank you. So I'm trying to get it up on my website. It may take me a day or two, but I'm going to be offering anyone who books a service, any service, whether you a class, a course, whatever it is, and you can combine them, a 10% discount at checkout. So if I can work it so that that's the easiest way for you, then that's what I'm going to do. But in the meantime, over the next couple of days, if that's something that is of interest to you, send me an email, heartcentertarot@outlook.com, and I'll be more than glad to send you the information and take it from there. So as long as you book it in April, you can take whatever it is, you can take it into May. You can take it into June. It's totally up to you.
Awesome.
But yeah,
Nice.
I'm
Nice.
sharing the joy. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
awesome.
Awesome. And speaking of Nathan, we're doing our Easter special Saturday morning. We're going to be doing live readings and giveaways and all kinds of stuff, including a 30-minute reading by Linda G, who graciously donated a reading to us to give away. So that'll be our final grand finale.
Yes.
Giveaway will be her. And I've got Andrew from Androniki is going to be on Saturday. Talk about some of the new stuff he's got coming out with product lines and everything. And of course, Slumber Party every Saturday night at 10 p.m. On Friday, I have the day off. Yay! I'm going to be a guest on Sabrina's channel at noon, my time, for how did she put it? Good Friday. So a play on the words there. So we're gonna do readings and stuff around that, and then polyterology with the cool crone at 6 p.m. and some odds and ends that I'm taking care of, and then that's pretty much it for my weekend, and I don't even want to think about next week yet. So tune in Sunday night, I'll post it. I'm still trying to shore up some final things on a few people. So getting back to our topic at hand, April Fools. Why is April 1st considered foolish? And so, as I was saying earlier, it dates back to even before the Romans, different festivals and stuff. Um, a lot of them involved disguises and mockery, just a way to, I guess, go out. Think of it as Mardi Gras, probably without as much booze. So, depending on where you are, there is a calendar shift. Um, there was a popular theory that suggested that when France moved the new year from April 1st to January 1st in 1564, those who slow adopted the change or continued celebrating in April as the new year, they were teased and called April Fools
Ah,
without the apostrophe
mhm.
in the plural. And so there's also a lot of historians link the day to vernal equinox festivals, such as the Roman festival Hilaria, which is the masquerades, doing tricks on people, that kind of thing. It's a celebration to celebrate renewal, springtime renewal, and whatnot. Um, Medieval tradition was the Festival of Fools, was a week-long celebration ending on April 1st that featured reversed social roles and general mischief. I would have loved to have seen that happen. All of those lords and ladies switching places. That would have been fun. And how many ladies, after getting a day of wearing breeches and not dresses, didn't want to go back to the dresses?
Yeah, probably all of them.
Yes.
I'm telling you, and how many men realized, damn, this is kind of hard to move around with all this material around my legs.
Can you
Um,
imagine all that material?
I,
Mhm.
I, I can't. I can. I mean, I've worn long dresses before for formal events, and you take very teeny tiny steps because if you take a normal step, you're going to bust your butt and land on your face because
Yes.
invariably the skirt's going to whip around your ankles and trip you
They're
up. And
they're going to
so,
whip around your ankle, but can you imagine baking, cooking, taking care of children, just your normal daily laundry,
mhm.
all these tasks that you had to do. If you were wealthy, you had servants, but that would just make it miserable.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
I
in the
mean,
heat. I mean,
oh, in the
you got all
heat.
those clothes on, and it's like
Oh,
100 degrees. It's like
mm-mm, mm-mm.
I think I'd have to go join an African tribe somewhere and try their
Yes.
Their
costuming.
style
You
of
know, at least I can breathe. You know, um, but and then there's also in France and other European countries what they call Poisson d'Avril, which is a April fish. That's a tradition that dates back to at least 1508, maybe older, where a common prank involved taping a fish to someone's back, symbolizing a young, easily caught fish.
Oh my, I can't
So,
conceive of that.
I mean,
You could smell that, couldn't you? I mean,
is that where the
phew.
keep me
You might
signs come
smell that
from
if
that
that was
we would
actually
put on each
taped to
other's
you.
backs in high school? You know,
Yeah. And that's where they got the thing, something smells fishy.
Yes.
yeah,
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
Something smells fishy. There's
absolutely.
yeah,
Um,
I like that.
there's also a clear association between April 1st and foolishness that's believed to be in Geoffrey Chaucer's The Canterbury
That's
Tales,
very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
written in
That was,
1392, where a
Yeah.
fox deceives a vain rooster.
Mhm.
Well, who doesn't want to do that to a vain rooster? Um,
Yep.
Anybody that's vain, yeah, let's trick him.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh,
a Scottish tradition, and I'm going to really mess this up, known as Huntiquoc, Huntiquoc, something like that, Huntiquoc Day or Hunt the Guac, where guac refers to a cuckoo or a fool involving sending people on phony errands.
yeah.
Well, you people that do that 24/7 around here. I mean,
Because I
Mhm.
don't think there was such a thing, and that was the joke. They'd be
Yeah.
out looking
Yes.
for this thing, and there was, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yes.
but basically, to wrap it all up, April Fools was a day that represented a celebration of spring renewal by embracing chaos, humor, and lighthearted trickery. Um, And there were pages and pages and pages of other things you could go more in depth on, which Val probably already printed out and has
Oh,
ready. Um,
baby, I got the printouts for you.
Allie has it in her brain, so she doesn't have to print it out. And Marina probably printed out some stuff too. So,
Yeah.
But
but
all of our stuff will be a little different because we
you
have
know, it's like
different interests in how,
it's
what
like
is.
Christy
Yeah.
Neumann, her husband, should have waited a couple of days
One
before
day. One
posting that
day.
picture, because then they could
Yeah.
have said April Fools and nobody would have thought anything about it. But
That's true.
They
live and
didn't.
learn.
It was leaked. It was leaked. They
It
didn't.
was
She didn't
leaked.
know
Oh,
about
wow.
it. It's been going on
Oh,
for years. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
That's
you
quite the
reap what you
thing.
sow. What can I
I know.
say?
I know. Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
Val,
Yeah.
tell us what you got. I gotta go turn my AC on. I'm sitting
Okay,
here
I will do that.
and feel it
And you know
running
what?
down my back.
Shari covered the historical significance, but no one actually can pinpoint. The historians are not solidly in line with one thing or another because it's a whole bunch of different things how it all got started. But basically, when you think about it, the more after the playful antics and foolishness stuff, when you look more deeply, it opens a very real conversation about what it means to be fooled. You know how somebody feels when you are pranked or you feel fooled. Is it only about pranks or silliness, or is it also in the ways we get misled in life? By appearances, assumptions, fear, ego, old wounds, or even the stories we tell ourselves. So
Right.
that's
We prank ourselves.
We prank ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean,
Over and over and
we
over
do.
again.
We do fool ourselves, and we do it willingly without even calling it what it is, because it's just that's what we do. So even intelligent people can still be fooled, and sometimes foolishness can be reacting too quickly to something without knowing all the facts, assuming without checking, believing appearances, very deceiving, letting emotion override clarity, getting all worked up before you really have the clear picture. So
Voting for Donald Trump.
yeah, I mean,
sorry, did I say that out loud?
Exactly. And we can be fooled by appearances. There's no doubt about that. Things are not always what they seem. And this reminds us on April Fool's Day, things are not always as they seem. People present masks. Situations look one way but hold a deeper lesson. Even our first impressions can be incomplete.
Yep.
So, how often do we decide something, what something means, before we truly see it or have seen it? We make it up and we don't really know the truth. And then foolishly, we find out later we didn't have it quite right. So I know that happens to me. I've had it happen before. Luckily, I don't act on those kind of things, but we can also be fooled by fear, because fear distorts perception. It magnifies danger, creates stories. So we make stories up. It can make us misread people, opportunities, and even ourselves, like we talked about. We can really fool ourselves. So there's also being fooled by the ego. The ego tells you one thing, but the ego doesn't have a bead on reality. It's telling you all kinds of things.
Oh, castles in the air. Yeah.
Exactly, because the ego wants to be right. It wants to be seen. It wants to defend itself. It wants to maintain control. This alone can cloud your discernment. But we can also be fooled by old wounds. Painful past shapes your perception of today, and you're clouded through all that wounding, and you don't see what's really there. Like, you might have this friend and they are telling you a certain subject, but it triggers you. It's not even about you, but you're getting all worked up, making it all about you. And that's looking at perception. That's perceiving the present moment through your wounding. And it really shapes how you view life. in so many ways. In so many ways. So when someone's been hurt, they may expect betrayal, rejection, or disappointment, and then interpret life through that lens, that colored fog of who's going to betray me next, or
Yeah.
this is a real thing. So and the spiritual side of being fooled, it's forgetting our own connection to source, forgetting our own inner knowing, and forgetting to pause and listen. So basically, not to draw it out too much further, there's a lot more, but really, when you think about the core crux of all of this and feeling foolish, we really have a whole plate full of things we do every day to ourselves, not just on April Fool's Day.
That's right.
We're living in the illusion of our wounding if we don't step outside of that and realize we aren't the story. We're the divine source energy. And so that's just something to remember on. Do I have any experiences? Not really. I never was pranked, and I didn't prank people because it wasn't something I was interested in. Although a prank that doesn't hurt anyone can be amusing.
Yeah,
like
can be fun.
like I was doing something with my husband was sleeping last night in his recliner in his room, his little bonus room, TV room, office. And I took his phone and I took a picture of him, and he was sleeping like this. I took my his
But
camera.
did you post it on social media?
No, see, that's a bridge too far.
See, that makes it a good prank.
I was giggling like crazy, and I took a picture of his face, and I wanted it to be right there when he woke up on his side table.
That's great.
I mean,
I love it.
that's a little pranky. It's a little,
Yeah.
So,
But it's
Little pranks, little teases. That's
things
good.
that
It makes
don't
us
hurt
laugh.
someone.
It makes us
Things-
giggle.
yeah, so things that make us giggle, and it's just amusing to do some funny little thing, usually to your spouse or something, but it doesn't hurt them. Then I'm all in for it because it's funny.
It is funny.
What's
it tickles
difficult
you.
is when it's
It's
not
too
hurting
extreme.
anybody. Yeah.
It didn't hurt anyone, and he thought it was funny too.
Right.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
Allie, what about you? What do you know or can contribute or remember or got all in that magnificent brain of yours?
Oh,
right there?
yes. Wonderful. The one that's falling apart. First of all, it's my brother's 80th birthday. He's not alive anymore, but
Happy brother.
yeah, happy heavenly birthday to my brother. And he was always hating the fact that he was born on April Fool's Day because he felt like it was a cosmic joke, even though, but he was the quintessential Aries. And so he really, it befit him really well. The other thing I want to mention before I tell a short little story is, we know that the Fool in the tarot cards is the first card, and it's a 0. It's not even a 1.
Yes.
But what it tells me is it's the basis for everything. And we aren't, we aren't born with all the knowledge we need to know. We have to trip up and fall. And sometimes we stand on the side of a cliff and we're looking at something over here, like the tarot Fool. And we have to learn. And so thank goodness we have some guardians like the little dogs and animals that are following with us. But there's something befitting about it being 0, because it's almost as though before you can know anything more about life, you have to come in as the Fool, because you have to come in learning all about everything that's coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have one prank that I did, and it was probably the best prank I ever did. So I worked in a branch bank, and I was I helped the loan officers at this time. And we had people, floating loan officers. And so what they would do is they would come in when the assistant manager had a day off, and they would sit next to me in his chair, and they would, write a loan for somebody. And it was mostly consumer loan, like a personal or auto loan. So this particular guy, Bill, he was very funny, but he was very straight-laced. and yet he had a sense of humor. So this particular day, Bill was there, and this couple came in, and I'm going to call them the Joneses because I don't want to use their name, and they were complete AHs. They were jerks, and they're like, "Well, I shouldn't have to have a credit report. I've never had to have one." That kind of person.
Yes.
And so Bill was dealing with them, and Bill was very sedate, And so Bill says to me afterwards, they're going to come back in tomorrow, and I told him to talk to you because you should get the approval by then. And I said, "Oh, okay, Bill, no problem," because he was going somewhere else. So the next afternoon I called him, but I was her. I said, "Bill, yes, this is Mary Jones. Call. And I want to know why the hell you're not at the bank. This lady, Allie, tells me that you just went somewhere else. Were you afraid to talk to me?" And I went on and on. And Bill's like, and she says, "I don't know what I'm going to do now. I just have no idea." And I hung up. And I'm almost busting a gut because, he's really thinking I'm her. And so I hung up the phone, and the phone rang. "Allie, this is Bill. You won't believe who just called me." And I said, I wanted to die. I did, because I wanted to laugh so hard. And I said, "No, Bill, who called you?" He said, "That lady that was in there yesterday? Oh my God, what happened? Did she not get the loan?" And it was, and finally I lost my mind. I couldn't do it. I laughed and I said, "Bill, this is Allie." I said, "That was me." Click. And it was April Fool's Day. It was April Fool's Day.
Oh, that was the best prank I've ever heard of.
It was the best prank. I mean, it did upset him initially, but he was in his 20s, so he didn't, wasn't going to have a heart attack. But we used to do this stuff when the manager was out. It was, harmless between each other.
Yeah.
I remember somebody calling one time at the bank and saying, "Can I speak to so-and-so?" And I'd say, and somebody would say, "No, I'm sorry. She's she can't, she's tied up right now." And so the person on the line said, "Could you run over and untie her? I really need to talk to her." So it was just so much fun. It was just, we had a crazy group of people. We were all in our 20s. Fun. And as long as it wasn't like, I'm glad he didn't call her back. Oh my God.
I mean, in a business, in a workplace like that, if you have that camaraderie, that underlying kind of jokes with each other, it's funny.
He did forgive me eventually. Yeah, he did forgive me eventually, but he was really, oh my God, what did I do wrong?
Oh, I could imagine. But you know what? You played it so beautifully. No wonder he totally bought it.
He did buy it. Oh yeah, he did.
And I wonder how many years in a row after y'all were no longer working together that he shared that story himself.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm sure
well, I got pranked good one time.
He might have a little residual trauma from it.
He could. Actually, I don't even think he's alive anymore. Poor guy. I don't know. But I know I wasn't the person that killed him. So
no,
that's right. Oh, that's fabulous.
It was fun. Fun to think about after all these years, because that was like 1980.
Oh, that's fun.
When that happened.
Yeah.
That was a good year for pranking. But
that ranks up there with one of the best I've ever heard. I mean,
it was fun. It was fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, fabulous.
Miss Marina, what you got for us?
Well, I think the biggest thing is there's a little bit of truth in everything in terms of I do think that it had to do with going from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar, because then it would set up the circumstance where someone is celebrating New Year's on April 1st, and if you're in the know, you'd say, what are you doing? We did that a couple months back, right? Because we didn't have the internet, didn't have the phone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it took a while for information to kind of get everywhere. I also think that a lot of it has to do with some of the old traditions in terms of, you made it through a difficult winter, right? It's, things are dark, the sun is coming back, so you kind of want to celebrate, and you want to have some fun, right? To let people know the good things are coming. So yeah, the idea of dressing up as someone else, I mean, absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
we do that. Yeah, switching places with someone. Yeah, fabulous. You want to walk a mile in my shoes? Go for it.
Get my shoes out of the
Exactly.
closet and put them on and go to start walking.
Or
Yeah,
if twins switch places and they pretend to be each other,
Yeah.
yes,
that would be another
Yes.
one. Yeah.
yeah, totally. So I think it's a fun day to just kind of have a little bit of hilarity, and there's
Yeah.
been all kinds of different things. I know that a number of years ago here in Alberta, Edmonton, which is the capital of Alberta, has a deep river, sort of like, almost like a little gorge that goes through it. And they were announcing on the radio that someone had spotted a whale in the river, and there was a lot of people who drove down to see if they could see. It's yeah, that river didn't go to the ocean, but anyway, fun things like that. And I remember oh my gosh, I think I was in my late 20s, maybe early 30s. I was married at the time, and it was April 1st. And I'm having coffee with a friend who had come over, and it was someone that my husband didn't know. And so we were talking about April Fools and whatnot. And she said, "So, did you get the old man?" I said, "Oh, no, didn't even think about it. It's too late." And she said, "Oh, we can still prank him." What are you talking about? She said, "Oh, yeah, hold on. What's his work number?" So she gets on the phone and she calls him at work. And of course, he picks up the phone, and she introduces herself as a Halifax City police officer. And she just wanted to let him know that, that everything's okay. Everyone's okay. But we just picked up your wife. And so, she's in our custody at the moment. And I could hear him. "What for? What is she in custody for?" "Well, apparently, sir, it was a lot of unpaid parking tickets." And "Where's my son? Where's my son?" "Oh, he's being taken care of by one of the neighbors. It's okay. No problem. Everything." And I'm just dying laughing.
Yeah.
And she's playing it straight, right? That's what it is. Look, sir, by the time that you're done work today, you can probably swing by, pick her up. You'll have to pay for the parking tickets, but it's not a big deal. It's a formality, and so on and so forth. Well, at that, what he was really getting a little overly dramatic. And so she finally said, "Hey, it's Marina's friend so-and-so. Yeah, April Fool."
I mean, oh my God. And he's thinking, oh, my wife's got a record now. I mean,
Yes,
I can
that's
hear
right.
him.
Yes.
He's going
Yeah.
through all the implications of the stain on the family name.
I know.
Lose
But
our
wouldn't it-
house, lose my job.
Yes.
Could you imagine though, if she said, your friend said something like, "She's been arrested for public farting," or
Yes.
something, that would be even
Yeah.
funnier. Oh
Yes.
my God.
Now,
Yeah.
the kind of best part about it all is he was in the military at the time. So as he's taken the call, one of the guys that was working in the office with him had a reputation for being a gossip. I mean,
Yeah.
there was nothing that this guy didn't know.
Uh-huh.
So he's hearing one end of the conversation. And when Dave got home that evening, and I'm saying, I'm sorry, but it was funny.
Yeah.
He said, oh, I didn't think it was funny then. He said, but it did get really funny because he said, yeah, this guy took off out of the office and came back about half an hour later and so on. By that point, Dave had calmed down. And so this guy starts talking to him. So what's going on with your wife? He said, oh, shit, it was an April Fool's thing. The guy had gone through most of the supply building. Sheldon's
Told
wife's
everybody.
been arrested. His wife's been arrested. Oh, my God. So it was a twofer. We got 2 for 1.
Oh my
It's
God.
a
That's
double
perfect.
whammy. A
Yes.
double whammy. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's so
Yeah.
And it couldn't have
turned
happened to a nicer guy because he really
Right.
was
and you
the
know, that
office
turned-
gossip.
that threw the thing into another level of humor
Yeah.
for him, even though he was getting pranked initially.
There's
So
there's nothing better than to get sideliners hooked
Yeah.
into it,
Yes.
Yeah.
and they get pranked too, and they
Yeah.
didn't have anything to do with it. It's
yeah,
like you said, a twofer. you
but
two for the price
it
of
just
one.
it shows you how
Yeah.
fast that rumors can
Yeah.
travel.
Gossip goes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gossip.
Yeah.
Office gossip.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was one of the best.
It's
That was
it's pretty darn
was.
good. That's a
Yeah.
good one.
Love that.
That was a
Yes,
good one.
I guess
Oh,
us
That's a good
Libras
one.
like to do that, huh, Marina?
Yes. Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
pretty good. That's two really brilliant pranks that are
oh,
very
hi, Miss
good.
Carol D.
Yeah.
I bet you got some good prankster stories.
Oh my God. Yeah.
uh, I don't think I
Yes.
was ever pranked on April 1st
Mm.
because everybody knows April Fool's Day, somebody's going to get you,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So it was better when it happened in October
Yeah.
or February,
Yeah.
something like that. And I was never really big on pranking others, probably because middle school age, I watched a group of mean girls
Mm.
like super prank another girl who was
Oh,
new, didn't
yeah.
know anybody, and they took it a step too far from just being a little prank and everybody laugh and maybe make friends with her to this girl nearly like completely lost it. Parents had to come and get her, I mean, and when the teachers found out what had happened, because of course everybody on the periphery starts talking about it and telling on them, and then they wound up getting in trouble. But because of that, I just remember how upset the other girl was, and it just really bothered me. It was like,
Sure.
it's like, yeah, I like to kid around with people and make people laugh and do stuff that's funny, but I'd rather prank myself and let everybody laugh at something I did
Yeah.
than to prank somebody else and have it taken the wrong way. I mean, but that was few and far between. And so it always kind of kept me from joining in on some of the really elaborate hoaxes I've had friends do over the years. I had a girlfriend who almost got divorced because she and one of her coworkers went out of their way to create this hoax, and her husband thought they were really having a fling, and just, I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
we were lucky that no one got hurt or divorced.
Right.
So, I think to me, it always depended on what was the spirit behind the prank. Is it something being done cruelly that's mean spirited, or is it something that you're doing just on a spur of the moment kind of thing? And oh my God, it's April Fool's. This is a perfect day to pull this on such and such, and
Yeah.
but something that they can, once you say April Fool's, they can then laugh about it.
You
So
know, I have to put this out here though. and I feel like this is if you did do some kind of prank and you were doing it about a husband and wife and you were teasing them with something that someone was cheating on them, I think that could be so detrimental to
Oh,
their
yeah.
mental health and their marriage
Oh, yeah.
because it can place seeds of doubt in someone's mind and trigger them so deeply. So I think I'd stay
Absolutely.
away from the kind of pranks that would cause rifts between relationships. And I'm not talking about your wife's in jail because that's all totally different. Somebody arrested your wife. Isn't your
Right.
wife doing something
It's not. I
bad?
saw your wife at the hotel with
Yeah,
Tom
it's not
Jones
that
down
one.
the road.
It's not
That's
that one.
different,
And,
you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But I'm talking about the personal level relationship kind of threatening kind of things. I think I'd stay away from those. But
Yeah, because
yeah,
you don't know
those
the background.
you don't.
You know, you don't always know the background. Not
No.
everyone tells you everything, nor should they, what's going on
Yeah.
in their life. So
Well,
you
and
never
not
know.
everybody has the healthy relationship that they put out to the public to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
you
true.
just don't know what that would push a
Mhm.
button so bad that they'd end up divorced 6 months later or something, you know. But
Yes, Luna's mom, Tracy, yes. Flings and pregnancies are off limits for pranks. Yes.
Exactly,
yes,
Lewis. Yeah,
exactly,
exactly,
right?
Tracy. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to do something for fun and then everybody can laugh about it,
Yeah.
including the one getting pranked.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's another thing to take it to the extreme
Yeah.
in a very cruel or mean-spirited kind of way where,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, the person may laugh about it, but you know that it's not funny to them.
Yeah.
Well, it's
And
like when we were kids and somebody wanted to put a tack on the teacher's chair. Of course, that's malicious and it can hurt
Yeah.
them and things
Yeah.
like that. So you never
Right.
want to do anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Not anything
know.
harmful. You could put
No.
that a rubber dog doo-doo on top of the chair.
Yes.
Or a whoopee cushion.
Or a
Whoopee
One of
whoopee
those
cushion.
whoopee
cushion.
cushions.
Yes. Oh, somebody brought me a nice cushion. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Those
Uh-huh.
are harmless, fun little things.
Yeah.
You know.
plastic fruit on someone's desk. Oh, look, the student brought me an apple. You bite
Yeah.
into something that
You
made
know.
out of wax or out of
Yeah.
plastic. I mean,
Yeah. And the thing is, you've got to do it fairly early in the day
Yeah.
before they realize what day it is.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So
Right.
exactly. You got to kind of hit them just as before
Yeah.
the first cup of coffee kicks in.
yes.
There
Yeah.
are some radio stations that have done that in the past where they've called
Yeah.
somebody and they've done all these pranking.
Yeah.
And some of the responses from the people are like, oh my God, this is awful. You know, like
Yeah. Yeah.
hearing all, but I remember that and how they, I've done this and you've done that and I'm going to get a lawyer and all.
Mhm.
If it went
All
that
that.
far, that's too far. That's
And
too
I think
far.
another
is.
bridge, yeah, when you're talking money,
Yeah.
Yes.
people get very upset. So if you said somebody won the lotto and they really didn't, the heads might roll.
Yes.
You're right.
The
You're right.
disappointment at finding it was a prank could be so, it could send
Devastating.
somebody into a tailspin,
Sure.
you know.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's
I
like the
remember-
old publisher clearinghouse letters
Yeah.
that would come to you in the
Oh,
mail.
those fake
and it
letters
would
that make it
say,
sound like you won.
You're a
Yeah.
winner. And then
You're a
when you
winner.
read 3 paragraphs down, it's like, if your ticket is the winning ticket. And
Right.
there were people who for years
Believed it.
got those and thought they were honestly the winner
Yes.
and
Yeah.
did things that, you know, just couldn't be taken back
Undone. Yeah.
once it was done. And Publishers Clearinghouse got sued, and rightfully so. And they
Rightfully
had
so.
to change the way they did their advertising letters that they sent out. It's stuff like that. Like I said, the mean spirited, I never attracted me, but I've been on the sidelines and laughed at some of the funny ones that people have
Mhm.
done. You know,
Yeah.
walking around with a kick me thing on your
I
back, you
mean,
know, you don't know it, or somebody tying your shoelaces together when you don't realize that they've been under the desk that long. That's what they were doing. Um,
I was watching the other day, and what I was laughing my full head off was people opening, almost they look like the Pringle chips, right?
yeah,
And
Mhm.
there's that
the
that
rubber
Oh,
state
spring,
yeah.
thing that
that,
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
out.
yeah,
yeah.
and the
that's,
reactions on some of
that's
the people. Okay,
hilarious.
that's funny.
It is
That's
funny
funny.
because if
Right.
you really stuck
Yeah.
one of those and compressed it down to
Mhm.
one of those
Yes.
half Pringle cans, that
Yeah.
would be
Yes.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about if
That's
you've
right.
got an idea for something and you're ready to do that idea, and then you
Yeah.
go to do it and someone else has already done it? I've
Yeah.
seen that happen, and people will end up peeing their pants over the whole thing. And I don't care how old you are, because I remember people
Yeah.
peeing their
Yes.
pants in college
Yes.
because we were
Yes.
laughing so hard. I mean,
Yes.
Yes.
that's a great fun thing.
That's the
you
kind
know,
of laugh where you have just let go of everything.
Yes.
everything. Yeah. Somebody else thought of this. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah. And it especially and we've said this before, you got to laugh, and laughter is a form of protest.
Mhm.
You know,
Absolutely.
yeah, and we do it because I think we get to share the same experience when we're laughing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We get to acknowledge that not everything is serious, that there are some things that are just truly funny.
Yeah.
There are.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
so
like, remember when Trump had toilet paper on the shoe of his foot and he was
Yes.
going
Oh
to Air
God,
Force One?
yes.
That was a riot, and he was
It was
clueless. It
it
really
was
was
to,
funny.
it was the
That's
best.
what made it a riot, was because he
I
was
know.
clueless. I mean,
Yeah.
It was
yes,
it
or
was
to take it
totally
back
the
to the
best.
night when Obama zinged him at that dinner thing, and
Mm.
everybody was cracking up because everybody knew it was a
And they
joke. I
flashed to
think
him
that,
at his
yeah,
table and he's like
you could
he
see on his face,
he
like,
could
oh,
not
you're
take
a
it.
dead man, just
He
like,
could not take it.
dude,
Yeah.
he's teasing you,
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, and you never know how somebody is going to take that kind of teasing. So I always have, when somebody said something about doing a prank on someone, I've always kind of said, well, make sure they're the kind of person that can take a joke
They can
and
take a
will
joke.
laugh about it after
yes,
the fact, because you don't want them suing you because
Yeah, especially in this
you
climate.
emasculated them in public,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
They can't
Um,
take themselves too seriously. If they
yes.
do, then they might get offended.
Yes, and
Exactly.
Mike Pence, the
Mike-
fly on Mike Pence's head.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Perfect.
fly is
Yes.
brilliant. You could
Thank
not
you,
have
Michelle. Yeah.
orchestrated that. That was like
Yes.
perfect.
Yeah. It was.
or
Yeah.
the meme videos that came out of that, where you heard Jeff Goldblum's voice from the movie The Fly talking, and it was like, oh my god, I was dying laughing on those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't seen those, but I can picture it.
You
I can picture
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And there excuse me. I don't know about you guys, but there are times when I purposely look for funny videos
Yes.
on the internet
Yes.
Oh,
just so I can laugh,
Yes.
Yeah.
because I feel so much better after
Totally.
I laugh, right?
Totally.
And then
It
sometimes
clears you out. It makes you
Yes.
feel light and fluffy again.
It
And
does.
Yes.
yeah.
There's a
It
little
was
boy
just like
that
there have been times for me when I've been in a certain mood where I know I need to cry and purge it out. And
Yeah.
I will go find a really sad movie to watch because I know it's going to make me cry.
that's
And then
right.
I'll sit and cry, and it's like I get all of that out of me, and then I feel better.
Sure.
So it works depending on the mood that you're dealing with.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It can go either way. But I think the best advice I could give to anybody when it comes to pranking people is, one, make sure the person has a sense of humor, and can take a joke.
Yeah.
They're not going to go
Totally.
out to their car and go get their pew pew to come
And
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 deal with
and
you
that's
after
you
work.
know, Sherry, it's sad to say that's a real thing to think
Yeah,
about.
it is.
Unfortunately.
Yes,
Unfortunately.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. Um,
right.
you know, and don't make it mean. I mean, if you're gonna
Yeah,
prank
Yes.
somebody, do it for fun, but don't
yeah,
be mean girls about it.
yeah.
Yes.
You know, and stop and think, how would I feel if somebody did this to me?
How about you don't prank people you don't know. Because
That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
prank people that know you
Mhm.
because they're gonna know you're just being friendly doing a prank.
It's quite complimentary to do something with a friend because
Yes,
it's like you can trust that person
yes,
to understand it. But yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
And has been shown all throughout since the dawn of time, we human beings have gone out of our way to try to figure out how to make each other laugh, or if nothing else, how to make ourselves laugh, just
yeah.
so that we're not all down in the dumps after being stuck in a dark winter in a cave or whatever
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
6 months waiting for the sun to come out. Um, and so there's reasons for April Fool's Day that I think originally started out as just a means of having fun, blowing off
Mhm.
steam,
Yeah.
bringing in the new spring renewal. And those are all fabulous and shouldn't be done away with. But again, stick to unhurtful pranks and
Yes.
preferably with people who know you well enough that they're not going to want to unalive you by the time you get through with the joke, So
Mm.
Yeah.
you don't want them plotting their revenge against you. And I've seen people do that who
Yeah.
have, like,
Well, we've got
all year,
a
they have plotted revenge
Yeah.
over
Yep.
Sister Sue, who pranked them on April Fools, and boy, I'm going to get them next year,
Yeah.
and they become obsessed with it. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's not
No,
That's
that's
a
not.
bridge too far.
that's
That's
not
taking it.
normal.
I was
No,
I was
Somebody
at a
no.
did mention. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Ali. Go ahead.
Okay. I was at a group, like a meeting where we all went out to eat, and we'd known each other about a week. And I was sitting beside one of the men at this business meeting. And next thing you know, we got an anniversary cake delivered to us.
Oh,
And he and I just said, "Oh, honey, I can't believe it's been 25 years." We made a big deal out, but it was so much fun. And so
that is
that's
fun.
something that I think would be
Yes.
fun, but not
That
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
a fun thing. That's a fun thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
for
And
sure.
I was going to say earlier, very, very early on, and I can't remember who it was. Someone had asked about that it being a full moon and putting up their crystals. I think it's a there was a couple questions on it, so maybe we can close
Full
off with
moon
that.
is tonight,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it's the full pink moon, and that's
The
about
pink
the
moon, so
extent of
it's
my
okay.
knowledge on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, set your crystals, and you don't have to take them outside. You can set them in a windowsill
Mhm.
as long as the moonlight's coming in on them.
Just
Sometimes
not
you
on a
put your
blood
crystals
moon. It's
out,
just
you
a
put
blood
the
moon. You
cards
can't do it.
out,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
anything to help recharge everything. There's a lot of power with the moon. And if you can't do it tonight, you can do it tomorrow night because the moon basically stays full for a couple of days before and after the official full moon. So
Mhm.
if you're 5 hours off, it's not the end of the world. I've seen some people just freak out because, oh my God, the full moon was like 8 o'clock tonight and I didn't get home from work until midnight. I'm like, it's still a full moon.
Yes.
You don't have to hit it at peak consumption there. It's still a full moon.
It's your
You can do it
intention
tomorrow night
too.
if you want.
Yes.
Setting your intention for whatever it is a
That's it.
powerful
So
thing. Yeah,
That you want to bring in and that you want to release.
that's right.
Yeah.
So if you enjoy pranking people, just do it in a nice way,
gently,
and not in a way
kindly.
that's going to give them a massive coronary,
Yeah.
or
Yes.
or cause them to divorce their spouse for 40
Yeah.
years, you know.
Yes.
Make sure you know who the recipient is and if they can take a joke, and be nice about it. You can do nice
Unless
pranks.
you really hate somebody, and then you can say, "Are you still? Hi, how are you? It's good to see you. You still beating your wife?"
Exactly, right? I mean, yeah.
Your refrigerator running, well, you better go catch it, you know.
Yes.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
have that in a bag? Yes, we do. Well, let him out.
Yeah.
There, yeah,
Exactly.
there you go. So,
Exactly. I
yeah.
mean, and it's basically, you know, pranking on this level is sophomoric behavior. We all know that. It's
Right.
having fun and making people laugh. It's when you take it a step too far that
yes.
you go into the danger zone, and that's not good for you. That's not good for anybody else. So, you know, you might want to think it through.
Yep.
Um, like
Yeah.
I said, I always looked at it like, how would I feel if somebody did that to me? And would I be really upset for a week or so? Then yeah, maybe I better not do that to somebody else. So yeah, therefore I just
Yeah.
never really, I never really did that many pranks on people because
Yeah.
I always got my feelings hurt real easy when I was younger, and so I was like, I didn't want to do that to anybody else.
Yeah.
So thank you, my lovely sisters, for joining us tonight. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for joining us and your interesting conversations you've been having, sharing a lot of information there and everything. And next week we will be on Miss Val's channel. She will be our hostess. So
Yes.
bring your notepad and your pen because she'll have bullet points you'll need to take
Oh,
notes.
you know it, baby.
You know it. Yeah.
Take notes.
We all know when Val is teaching for the night, we better have our pads and our
Have
pens.
your pads
That's
ready.
good.
Have the
Yep.
GPT chat notes.
Mhm.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And she knows we say that to her because one, it's true, and two, she knows we're just teasing her about it.
Oh,
So
I
we all
love
learn
it. I
something
love
from
it.
her when it happens. So
I love
um,
it. It's all
And
true.
yes, thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to all our channels.
links
Yep.
for all the channels is in the description box below. So thank y'all very much. Happy
Happy
April
April
Fool's
Fool's Day.
Day.
Happy
Yes.
April Fool's
Happy
Day.
brother's
Later.
birthday, Allie.
Mhm.
And happy birthday, Karen Tapioca Thievery. Her birthday was yesterday.
Yesterday.
So happy birthday to her.
Happy
And
birthday.
y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And we'll see you
Next
soon.
time.
I was going to say next week, but we might see them later or tomorrow. Who knows? I got
Yep.
freaking pop ups now. Jesus. I can't even close out. Okay, there we go.